Hello, I'm Levi Franklin, and here's my project, Predicting Closed Stack Overflow Questions. As many of you know, Stack Overflow is a website that is used by programmers to ask and answer questions. They reportedly receive over 6,000 questions every single day. Around 6% of those are closed for a variety of reasons. I propose we can use deep learning and neural networks to process these questions and assist in figuring out which ones can be closed. This will save users and employees of Stack Overflow lots of time and not having to look through every single question. Questions can be closed for the following reasons: off-topic, non-constructive, not a real question, or too localized. This topic can be framed as a sentence classification problem, which is a well-studied issue. One example you can think of is sentiment analysis like we did in class. Some previous work that's been done is averaging word vectors for each question or using recurrent neural networks, which runs through the message text. So issues with these are that they don't get the structure very well for word vectors averaging, and there's vanishing gradient issues with recurrent neural networks. Other techniques improve on these shortcomings, such as an LSTM model, which allows the network kind of have a better memory and helps the vanishing gradient problem, or convolutional neural networks, which help do a good model of the sentence structure and also don't have as much vanishing gradient issues. Now to state the problem more formally. The goal of this project is to classify new questions submitted to Stack Overflow as either open or closed, and the reason for those closings. This will be using a dataset provided by Stack Overflow of lots of questions and made available through Kaggle. In this project, I do two of the techniques mentioned before. The first is averaging word vectors of the title and question combined with other numerical features. The next is the convolutional neural network model. For evaluation, I use the same thing that the Kaggle competition used and we used in class, log loss. This allows comparison with other competitors in the Kaggle competition. Additionally, the class distribution is heavily weighted towards open questions, so it can be difficult to use traditional metrics like accuracy. A subset of the Stack Overflow questions were segmented from the training data, and we used those to evaluate these different models and baselines. The dataset that Kaggle provides has the following features: the creator's reputation at post-creation, their undeleted answer count, as well as the question title and the question contents. This dataset is quite large with over 3 million questions. We can also see how heavily weighted it is towards open, with 97% of the questions being in that class. To begin, I had to decide what kind of word vectors to use. I considered using glove word vectors, which are highly regarded in the deep learning community, or trading my own word vectors using the Stack Overflow questions corpus. Next, I tested the first model with both word vectors. Averaging word vectors models averages the word vectors for the title and question body. I concatenate on the numerical vectors with this and run them through a multi-layered neural network. The next, more powerful model is a convolutional neural network model. This utilizes a sliding window over the sentence of varying sizes. Each word vector now includes numerical features, and the output of these windows, or convolution, is pooled together to create a final estimate. This final underestimate goes under softmax projection that we did for the averaging portion and creates a final prediction. This slide discusses the log loss metric that is used to evaluate the models in this project. Next, I'd like to discuss the baselines that I use. The first is a uniform prediction, where if we just predict evenly across all classes. Next is one based on frequency, where obviously open is highly weighted compared to the other ones. Lastly, Stack Overflow and Kaggle included a baseline that is a machine learning model that actually performs quite well. Unfortunately, due to some last-minute bugs, the convolutional neural network results are not ready at this time. However, here are the results for the log loss of glove vectors and Stack Overflow trained word vectors on the averaging word vectors model. Overall, the neural network and numeric feature method was fairly successful. It was better than both the frequency-based prediction benchmark and the uniform benchmark. It also was close to the Stack Overflow provided benchmark. Compared to the ones on the Kaggle competition, this would have come in around 115th out of the 160. Assuming the competitors in Kaggle are often quite skilled in machine learning, it seems like a very positive result. Finally, we can conclude that you can indeed use deep learning to assist in predicting what questions will be closed on Stack Overflow. Interestingly, the neural network was able to learn specific traits about why questions could be closed as well. This suggests the network was able to have some understanding of structure and did not rely on just things like the numeric user's reputation. Future work could involve implementing the other models that were suggested in the introduction. Comparing their success to these models would be an interesting experiment as well. Additionally, we could use other features of a question from Stack Overflow to help train the model. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all the references listed here.